Hey, what's going on? It's your boy JoeThunder back once again with another episode of the Smoking JoeThunder podcast. You already know, bringing you the latest and greatest in hip hop and cannabis from Denver, all over the motherfucking worldwide. I had a joke there, but I'm already high and I forgot it. You know what I'm saying? But I know who we have in the motherfucking building. You know what I mean? Real quick, shout out Be Good Dispensary, our official sponsor, 11 West Hampden. Up north on 120th, across the highway from Boondocks. They got that good herb. As you know, last time, man, we were fucking smoked beyond belief. You know what I mean? But I got a special cat in the building, man. Been tattooing for 27 years. His shop where he works at has been open since 1978. Emporium of Design.
Yes,
we
sir.
got the one, the only Scotty Ferguson Helldorado. What's going on, brother?
My man, what's up, brother?
Not much, man. How you been?
I'm doing good.
You look good, bro.
Yeah, so do you, man.
You know, we were just talking. We're pretty
we're old.
close, and yeah, there you go. Good way to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look good. I look good. I'd have never guessed you were. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm 49. Well, I'll be 49 in a couple weeks.
We ain't gonna tell you how I'm gonna be, but I'm up there. Whew.
My man.
You know, I had that reality check, and you know, but shit, man, not too many motherfuckers get to live that long, bro.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? It's a rough world. I know it's definitely been rougher for you, man. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily, but I get through. We do good.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
so,
sir.
right off the bat, man. Born and raised in Colorado, right?
Yep. Yeah, I was born at Mercy Hospital in
Same
1974.
here? Oh,
yeah.
shit.
It's not even there no more. Yeah,
I know.
It's gone.
I was born in the same place.
Get
A
out of
year,
town.
a year before or after.
Yeah.
We'll just say that.
Yeah,
you
so
got that 2 year.
you gave up your age already.
Damn, bro. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So what part of town did you like kind of grow up at?
A little bit in Aurora, the Aurora area. I was a little kid out there. My dad was an aeronautical engineer, so we moved around a little bit when I got a little older. So, but yeah, Aurora and Denver.
And did you go to high school out in like Aurora?
No, I went to high school. I went to most of the schools I went to were in Washington D.C. when we moved. So, I moved out there and went to school out there. So
You kind of moved to Washington D.C. and then came back to Colorado?
I did, yeah. But I went to St. Pius X over in Aurora.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there when I was a kid. It was a good school.
What age did you move to like D.C.?
Let's see. I was probably about 10, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that kind of a shocker for you?
A little bit, yeah.
Because you already had friends here and shit cracking here,
I
right?
did, yeah. D.C. was kind of a weird spot for sure.
How is it different from like Denver, what you were used to?
Well, it's just no mountains, a lot of big trees, rolling hills and stuff like that. The people were a little bit different. But I was too young to really realize any of that kind of stuff.
Was it like diverse like Denver? Because I've always
Oh
thought...
yeah, for sure, yeah. That's where I got into like punk rocks and stuff like that, man. Seeing Bad Brains and stuff when I was in 12 years old. I seen bands that nobody else could ever imagine to see. Not
That's
even
crazy.
to this day, they're not even around anymore. I seen Minor Threat, I saw all that kind of stuff. So
I'm kind of the same way. Music or the early age, my parents kind of let me do that shit, bro. As long as I was cool, you know what I mean?
yeah. My mom and dad were really cool about it. They kind of let me get away with a lot more stuff because they just up and moved us kids when we were young to someplace we'd never been before. So I spent a lot of time skateboarding and doing normal shit, and then going to lots of hardcore shows and stuff like that. And when I was real young, I was like we were talking earlier, I was really big into old Beat Street kind of style stuff. Like
Yeah, it
old
sounds
hip-hop.
like you started off with the hip hop.
Oh
stuff,
yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah,
Who are some of your favorites?
Like we talked about, UTFO was really good. Houdini, Egyptian Lover, stuff like that.
I remember some Midnight Star, bro.
Midnight Star was good.
Freakazoid?
Dancing on the yeah.
Were you a
No
B-boy?
parking on the
You just-
dance floor.
Yeah, you tried
Oh,
breakdancing?
hell
or
hell yeah.
I think back then we all tried everything.
Oh, we had a lot of fun.
And kind of figured out what we were better at and then kind of gravitated toward that. You know what I
for
mean?
sure. Yeah. I had a lot of fun when I was a kid. Not for nothing. We didn't grow up super rich, but we grew up healthy.
Right.
That was important.
Roof over the head, some
Roof
food
over
in
the
the
head,
refrigerator.
and food in the fridge.
Kind of like the 9 to 5, what they call them, latchkey kids type back in the day.
Kinda,
Both
yeah,
parents
for
worked,
sure.
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, well that's how it was. My parents wanted to give us kids a better life.
Right.
So, that was everything to me when I was growing up. So,
How long did you stay out in D.C.?
let's see, I was out there. It's hard to, let's see, it was probably.
Did you stay out there till like you were a senior? Did you
No.
graduate out there?
I was out there till
Or
I was
like
about
just a year?
15 or so. Yeah, 14, 15. I came back here, and then I pretty much kind of dropped out of all school and stuff like that. Got my
You said,
GED.
"Fuck it."
Yeah. mean, it was, I was getting in trouble doing all kinds of dumb shit, so.
Were you tattooing at this age, or had you started?
I mean, a little bit. We were kind of scratching on each other and stuff like that,
Right. Anyone's parents ever get pissed off at you?
Of course they did. You kidding me? Yeah. I mean, we were having fun, I mean.
What was the first thing you ever did?
I mean, I think all the kids, when we were young, we made little homemade prison machines and stuff like that, and we were just tattooing little crosses and shit on each other, and, kind of along those lines, little skulls and, whatever, just trying to look bigger and tougher than what we really were, we're just as kids, trying to survive in the land, so.
Hell yeah. What kind of was the first time you seen tattoos, or you knew it was something you wanted to maybe do or fuck with?
I mean, I didn't know if I wanted to do it, but when I was a little kid, my dad's his brother had a sailor tattoo on him, and he was in the Navy, so I got to see this old sailor tattoo, and it was a naked woman. And my mom and everybody didn't want me seeing it and stuff like that, so we snuck in when he was sleeping and kind of snuck around and looked at his old tattoos and shit. And I mean, who knows, man? It could have been done by Burt Grimm or something like that, because I mean, he was in every port. So I mean, he had some pretty cool tattoos, but my mom and they didn't want us to have nothing to do. We grew up Catholic, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
for sure.
I'm pretty much, me and my cousin Catherine are probably the only people that had tattoos, or maybe still to this day in our family. So.
How old were you when you got your first tattoo? Do you remember?
13.
13. Yeah, did you do it yourself? Or?
Oh yeah. I did this little cross on my leg, and then of course you get some other tattoos, and then you go to the tattoo shop and say, hey, I want to get this tattoo put next to this tattoo, so they wouldn't ID you and stuff like that. So that's how I started getting real tattoos,
Because you already had a couple on you, right?
I already did, yeah.
And they weren't really sweating
they
you about
didn't care.
it.
Yeah, they didn't give a shit. They were like, "Fuck it, man! Jump in the chair, youngster. Quit squirming. Here's a bottle of whiskey to sip on."
Do you remember the first place? Was it the first place here?
Well, yeah, and it's funny too, because the lady I work with right now, she's one of the first people to ever tattoo me when I was a kid, and her name is Kim Schaefer, and she's been tattooing since 1976. She was Peter Poulis's. She worked with Peter Poulis and. Was her apprentice, and
explain who Peter Poulis is for the people that don't know.
Peter was he was a stone gangster. Yeah. He started tattooing back. He started tattooing back in the day, and he had Peter Tattoo Association. They had it here in Denver. They had it in New York and Long Island and Arizona.
So it's almost, I don't want to say chain, but almost like clubs.
Well, no, it was kind of, it was a little bit of a chain, but he had these shops and then he hired tattooers, and then they got percentages and made tattoos and stuff like that. But yeah, so he was a huge influence to me and a lot of tattooers, a lot of older tattooers for sure. And so I had the privilege to be able to work with these people, and I worked for that tattoo outfit when I was younger. And then I was switched over to some other shops and stuff like that. And now I work for the Emporium, which is funny because there was the Emporium and there was Peter Tattoo in Denver back in the day. And if you open up anything else, you're
those were the only two choices you said, right?
That was it, And if you did go, if there was something else, and those guys didn't hang out very long. Let's just put it that way.
Right. They just didn't. Yeah. They weren't around to do much.
Nah, not very much.
What did you just call it? You said outfit, or what did you?
That tattoo outfit. Yeah.
Is that parlor? Is that just a shop parlor, like you said?
Well, the outfit itself is basically where it's a group of people, that they all tattoo for the same company or whatever, company. It's just no way of saying company, I guess.
Got you.
Yeah.
How many of there were you back in the days? Was there even many of you at that time, or was there maybe
tattooers?
2 or 3? Yeah.
I mean, there was. There's a handful of tattoo shops for Peter, and then I think the Emporium had 3 or 4. Yeah. So and they were rivals too. And all us kids, we got along real well. So we all hung out with each other, even though the bosses would tell us, "Hey, you can't hang out with them guys," And we're like, "Fuck that shit." We go to the bar and hang out with everybody, and we were friends with everybody. And it was a lot of fun.
Were the old school rules way different than the new school rules?
Oh, for sure. These kids don't have any idea how easy it is. Or, you could get up in the middle of the night, get on Amazon, and you're a tattooer the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Back then, you had to learn. You had to go in every day. You had to clean up. You had to make sure that shop could not run without you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So, if you weren't there on top of your game, then you weren't a part of the team, you know. So
And even probably trying to get someone to show you or like give you hints.
No,
You
they
know what I mean?
wouldn't.
They weren't doing that shit unless
no.
they kind of, you know what I mean? Unless you start earning that trust.
exactly, because I mean, you know, I mean, look at it now. I mean, there's a tattoo. Everybody's a tattooer. When I was a kid, there was no tattooers. So if you
Right.
walked into a bar and you're like, hey, you're like, yo, that's Scotty. He's a tattooer. You know, he got that respect from that. You know, nowadays it's like, oh, man, whatever. You know,
It's watered down.
it's watered down for sure. I mean, you know, like the internet's kind of like the commercialization of it's kind of it's downplayed it, and made it kind of cheapened. You know. So.
Nah. I talked to Good Time Charlie.
Yeah,
Shout out, you know what I mean?
yeah. I love Good Time Charlie, man.
He's talking about how like there used to be like one convention a year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now he said there's probably 2 or 3 like every weekend. You know what I mean?
Every
Like,
weekend, yeah, for sure, and even more, you know. And Charlie Cartwright, man, me and him became pretty good friends. You know what I'm saying? I worked with a lot of guys, and I know a lot of those old tattoo guys and stuff like that. My friend Running Bear used to work with him for a while, and you know, and a couple other tattooers, man. But that guy's he's a triple OG for sure, man.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Hey, being a tattoo man is like a different lifestyle. You know what I mean?
It is.
You
That's why I look young. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I do a lot of dumb shit. You know, I still, you know, I get up. You know, it's like you know, like your parents say. You know, you want to get a good job. You go to get a job that's, you know, basically, if you know, if you go, you sit at a stoplight and you're waiting for it to turn green, and you get to your work, and you know you're drawing on your friends for a living, and you're having fun doing it, then that's not a job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But
So we were talking earlier, like, how would you kind of describe you as like a person, just like in general?
I don't know. I'm real friendly, I guess. You know, I go to a lot of shows. I know lots of folks. You know, my girlfriend, she keeps me going. You know, we've been together for about 7 years. You know, she helps keep me grounded a little bit. We don't, you know, I don't do a lot of real silly shit anymore. So
Right.
yeah, I mean,
We've all grown, you know what I mean?
for sure.
But back in the day, you said you were the type of person who just didn't give a fuck.
I did.
To this
know?
day, like to a certain extent, you still really don't, right?
Yeah, I mean, but why? I mean, for real. I mean, the economy's kind of shitty. Everything, you know. If there's a way to make life a little easier or happier, then why not do it? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah.
So what kind of made you start getting tattoos? We talked about that earlier.
Oh, when I was younger, I just was a little skinny little kid, you know, and I figured if I got tattoos, it would help me keep people away from me, you know, I look a little tougher or whatnot.
Did people pick on you, or did
Oh, they
people fuck
fucking
with you?
picked on me even worse after I started getting tattoos, you know. I mean, it did the opposite.
Did you like that shit though, or?
Not really, but I learned how to fight real good, you know what I'm saying? So now,
Real
like,
soon. I mean, that's all it is, man.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry, boy. I mean, you know, I'm not some treacherous tough guy, and I'm not an arch criminal or anything, man. But yeah, you know, you had to do it, you know. I mean, fuck, you know, people don't get Denver. Denver's a grimy place, man. You can get into some bullshit out in these streets.
They
you
don't know. And
Yeah.
like I said, everything is different here too. I've always thought it's always been diverse between every, you know what I mean?
I think so too. You know, it really is. And if it's not, and if you're not down with that kind of mission, then you're not around long. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People don't like that shit. You know.
And you know what's crazy is like I'm really, you know, I could go anywhere type of shit. It's like
Yeah,
one of those
exactly.
things where I'm
You got
not
the
worried
keys to the
about-
village, man. You know, if you got book smarts and street smarts, man, you can get along with anybody. You know what I'm saying? But if you know, I mean, you know, of course, there's a lot of, you know, I walk these streets and I see a lot of these neighborhoods. They're not the same anymore. You go out to the north side.
Oh,
and,
not at all.
yeah,
bro.
it's all white people problems and shit out there. You know what I'm saying? But out here, you know, I mean, like we're, you know, in certain, there's other parts of Denver, you know, and you find them where it's just like, you know, you still have the same shit going on. You still, you know, you can still tell it's a Denver community. You know, you could go to festivals and do things. You know, you go to Juneteenth and you're welcome there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you said earlier, like fuck, I had that train of thought, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Shit, Lost is that Be Good weed. You
Yeah,
gotta go check him
yeah.
out. You know what I'm saying?
Smoke some more.
But no, you talk about being cool with like everyone.
Yeah,
know
you
what I
gotta
mean?
be. Especially being a tattooer, man. That shit doesn't cut it, man. You gotta be cool with everybody. You know, you never know who's gonna come in. If your money's green, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're in there, you respect the tattoo shop, you respect us. You know, you get tattoos. I don't give a shit what you do.
What's the one thing that you like that you dislike that customers do, or something that you know what I mean?
Well, they try to micromanage, but I pick and choose my battles a lot wiser these days. Like it might seem sometimes when I walk into the shop and I'm not really doing much, and during the day and I'm working on some artwork for somebody, and somebody comes in and they're trying to bully their way into my chair or something like that, I'm like, hey man, I ain't got time for you. But you know, I'm friendly. I'm like, I know somebody more than glad to tattoo you. And I mean, you know, and then they you know, and you know, you get those people that they want to get in, and when they do get into the chair, if they finally get in there, they want to micromanage or, you know, be like, hey, you know, you get a little bit of tattooing done. Hey, can you add this and do this? And you know,
it's not like back in the day where you just they just let you do what you do, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, they still do with me, but I've been tattooing for a lot longer nowadays. So, like I said, I pick and choose those battles pretty wisely.
Right, if this is what they want, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if their money's straight, you know, if you come in, I don't give a shit, you know. But I mean, but I'm not, you know, I don't want to be one glove away from being a prostitute either. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, especially you have a lot. I bet you have a lot of motherfuckers trying to lowball you. Huh?
Oh no,
is that the worst
not anymore.
No,
No,
not anymore.
I charge a nice heavy amount every hour. So I mean, if you can't do that, yeah, fuck them.
Do you like something that you like to do better? Do you like to do bigger tattoos?
I love doing big tattoos.
Do you like doing small tattoos?
If I can just eat it, if I can just sit down and work on something and feast on a big ass tattoo like a sleeve or a back or, you know, or a leg, you know, I'm good with that shit.
Like the bigger the better?
Bigger the better for sure. You know, but I don't mind doing little jammers. Little jammers are cool. You know, people they want to get tattoos. They want to spend, you know, a couple $100 getting a little tattoo, you know, the size of my hand, you know, or, you know, a couple inches or whatever. That's cool. I'm cool with it. You know, I got a lot of people that come in the tattoo shop and they'll be like, you know, I'll be tattooing all day and I'm working on a big piece, like somebody's ribs or their legs or, you know, sleeve or something. And then they're like, hey, this kid's waiting all day long, wants to get tattooed. I'm not going to deny him the tattoo. You know, I mean, he spent the whole day waiting and I told him to hang out. If I don't have the opportunity, I'll tell him to go ahead and, you know, try another day or set an appointment. But,
right.
Yeah.
What's the longest you've been tattooing till? Shit.
Well, the other day I tattooed. I started about 10 o'clock in the morning. I ended up about 3 in the morning. Yeah. So I was 3 big tattoos on 3 guys. Yeah.
A lot of fucking work. What'd you do if you don't mind?
Well, it was it was a dad and his 2 sons, and they wanted a thing together, and it was kind of a Clint Eastwood kind of themed montage, and looked really nice. Those guys were super happy, man. It just took forever, and it was just one of those days where, you know, I was happy at the end, but like towards, you know, about right in the middle, I was kind of figuring, I was like, yeah, well, this is gonna take the rest of the night, and you know, and then towards the end there, I started drinking some beers and stuff like that, and I kind of
started getting in your groove.
Yeah, I was in the groove, but you get to that point where you're just like on the last one, and you're like, hey, we gotta just relax and
stretch it out.
Yeah, stretch it. I'm like, fuck it, man. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. You know. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how would you describe your kind of tattoo style?
Well, I do a lot of black and gray, but I also do I do a lot of old school kind of stuff and Japanese. So I'm real versatile. I just like making cool tattoos, man. If you come at me with some pretty good ideas, you know, and you know, having the opportunity to work with some of the best black and gray guys, you know, and some of the best Japanese guys and stuff like that, it helps out a lot, you know. And I'll see them do a little something, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna try that next time, or I'll put incorporate it into my artwork or something, you know. So
right. I'll say, what kind of tattoos do you like getting personally?
Personally, I mean, I don't know. I get tattooed by some of the best guys on the planet, you know. So, you know, my friend Eddie Deutsch, whenever he tattoos me, I'm just kind of like, here's this, and then it'll probably be something completely the opposite thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll be like, I want this, and then I want like a little guy on a surfboard, you know, surfing in some Japanese waves with the Oni face or something, and he'd be like, all right, we're not doing that. We're doing a gorilla eating into some barbed wire or something, you know. So.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Hey, so when you were like younger, what who did you kind of run with? Did you kind of like run with everyone? Did you hang out with the Mexicans? Did you hang out with the white boys?
Well, a little bit of everybody, but yeah, mostly like right now. I mean, the Helldorado Car Club. I mean, we're all like, it's all basically. I mean, we've been together for about 30 years. So one of my best friends on the planet is he's Cinco, and he's an old cholo, man, but that guy listens to more punk rocks than most punk rock kids I know. You know what I'm saying? So
and that's what we were talking about. A lot of cholos, a lot of Mexicans do listen to hardcore fucking punk rock.
He trips me out, man. That dude knows more about fucking like street rock and oi music and punk rock and all that kind of stuff than anybody I know. So it's always really kind of trippy when you see people kind of interact with him, you know, because he's kind of he's one of them dudes, you know. You sit and watch him, and he's just like he'll watch you, and you know, He's an old punk rocker from way back, you know. So
And you never like get that, you know what I mean? It's kind of funny. You always think
Yeah.
fucking you know how it is, bro.
hell, like me, man. Nowadays, I'm like, you know, I'm jamming. Like I was rolling down here listening to the Barge. You know what I'm saying? Listening to like Bloodstone and Brentwood and stuff like that. You know, and War. You know, but I love the oldies. You know.
What are like some of your favorites, man?
War, of course, man. If you don't fuck with War, don't even talk to me, man.
Right. I'm sure you've seen them before, huh?
I've seen him plenty of times. I was in San Diego this last year, and me and one of my other best friends, Josh Barnes, we went down to the Shell on in the bay, and they played with, it was George Benson and War. And we didn't even have to get tickets. You could just sit out there. So we sat out there and got a little warmed up with some tequila shots and some other little goodies and stuff. And we sat there and listened to War all night, man. It was great. And then after that, we got, we took a lift and went over to I think North Park and watched some punk rock shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was.
That's tight, bro. When you could do
Yeah.
like multiple things and like,
it's fun.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At a night in the city.
Yep. San Diego's the spot for sure, man. It's a wonderful city. People are a little different. I mean, I love them all. You know, all the guys at Lucky's Tattoos, my other tattoo shop I work at out there.
You go back and forth
Yeah,
from here in
yeah,
Cali. You were
yeah.
telling me, right? I didn't know that.
Not so much anymore. Lately, I've been just trying to concentrate more on Denver. You know, I mean, I got a lot of stuff going on right here, right now. So I'm just like, trying to help out as much as I can and keep things kind of cooking around in Denver. So.
How long have you been at the shop that you've been at?
So my friend Dusty, me and him grew up together. His dad opened the Emporium in 1978, and
So you've always kind of.
well, we were always friends when we were kids, for
Okay.
sure. But like, I went in the shop just to check up on them, see how these guys are doing. And pretty much, he hands me the keys, and working with old people, like older tattooers, it's a dream come true. You don't have to listen to anybody's nonsense. You don't have to hear the stupid stories. It's already been said, a million times in those walls. So, working with Dusty and Kimmy, like, I mean, it's a dream come true because those guys are my best friends, and they just, they don't have a lot of time to, it's not like when you work with younger kids, that everything, you're trying to reinvent the wheel, everything's brand new to them.
Right.
To these guys, it's old hat. So, we just kind of shoot the shit a little bit, say our goodbyes and go home at night and get more domesticated. So, it's cool.
What was it like though in the early days, man? How did you kind of
Dangerous.
start tattooing? You know what I mean? And
Well, I mean, when I first started tattooing, well, the thing was, I started my apprenticeship. I got locked up when I was real young, and then when I got out of Lookout Mountain, I started doing an apprenticeship, and I was working for Rich Romano, Larry Romano's younger brother, and Larry was a big boss for Peter Tattoo, and I started working with those guys, but I was getting ready to go to prison. I got in some trouble, lots of fist fights, and after a while, the judge.
was it like some fucking like outsider shit for real? You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
or was it a little more dangerous?
It was
or, I
way
mean,
dangerous.
If you think in the outsiders, that fool pulls out his blade and gets that
Oh,
fool
yeah,
with it. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was crazy. There's nights where like I get handed like a bunch of money and have to go over to a bank at right after we close, and we're over. Like I was at American Tattoo, and we were basically off of like Colfax and Havana. And imagine this, it was spicy, man. So imagine this, like 20, almost 30 years ago. It wasn't a Paisa neighborhood. It wasn't a lot of like a working family neighborhood.
Not at all.
It was it was a lot of Crips, a lot of Bloods, and there was people out there shooting each other, and it wasn't nice, So I had to go take money over to the banks and do this shit, and it, and you carried around stuff with you. You know what I'm saying? You never knew who you were gonna meet in those dark alleys. So
Man,
it was gnarly.
a lot different than from today. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, these kids don't get it. I mean, I can't say that. Some of these kids do. I mean, I'm not some old guy that hates on young kids. I think
They just gotta learn, but it's both ways.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
But they got it easier. Everybody's got snitch in their pocket. They can turn on their camera and film you doing some arch criminal shit and rat you out to the cops or whatever. or they can just call the police on you or whatever. So it
shoot
wasn't
you.
like that back then. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't do that shit. It was kill or be killed. You know what I'm saying? So
No, or like I said, they'll just shoot you. You know what I mean?
yeah, they just take your shit. You know.
I don't think people like.
I see
Really,
these kids rolling around. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I see these kids running around with their little earbuds in their heads all day long. They don't have any idea what's going on around them. And there's old guys like me that, you know, like if you know, if I didn't have my shit together, I'd look at that as an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. You know, but probably not a good thing to say.
you think it's got more dangerous today or back in the day?
That was way more dangerous back in the day.
It's just now it's just kind of like broadcasted. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's accept. You know, people don't do that kind of shit. You don't see people that are like, okay, I'm gonna victimize somebody because they don't, you know, because they're slipping. You know what I'm saying? I see people slipping all the time, man. There's fuck tons of lames out there that just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Especially like nowadays, like so many people are on their fucking phones.
Oh
shit.
yeah, they don't care. I mean, whenever I used to take the 15, that was dangerous shit, man. Take the 15 down, you know, and I'd go. Once you pass Colorado Boulevard going into Aurora, you might as well just go ahead and have your gun cocked and ready to go. I mean, there's people that would rob you just, you know.
I've dealt with some shit on the 15,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Kind of talked my way out of it, but it wasn't looking good at first, bro.
Sure,
like, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
That's-
And it was just some like, yeah, that big motherfucker up there. Like,
Yeah,
I
he
was
thinks
like,
he's
oh,
doing something.
shit, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
these motherfuckers over here is tripping, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, like some Debo shit.
Yeah, for sure, for real. I mean, those people, like, there was a lot of things. Like, those gangs didn't give a fuck, man. They didn't care what color you were, or where you were going, or what you were doing, or what you had or didn't have. They were gonna take whatever you had. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you have any crazy like stories on the 15?
I mean, not really. Like I was one of those kids. I kept my head down. You know, I mean, I never really had a lot of problems. I seen a lot of other folks have a lot of problems and stuff like
That's what
that.
I'm
I
talking
mean,
about.
I seen some stabbings.
What kind of
shit.
crazy
Yeah.
shit you see on the 15?
I seen a guy get stabbed once, and I don't think he made it because they had to pull it over, and then you know, and it was
shit,
right
for
downtown
real?
too. Yeah, he got on the bus, and I guess it kind of reminded me of some, you know, it looked like some prison shit, like he owed him some soups or something. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Yeah, for real. I mean, it looked like that. And the guy, he bled out on the ground. I'm pretty sure he died. I didn't stick around to check it out, man. But I ain't trying to see folks get hurt either, man. You know.
Nah, I've been on the 15 and seen some shit. I
Yeah,
thought
I've
it was
seen some
about to go
shootings.
down, bro.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
I seen a
shit,
guy
this
shot.
mother-
Seen his kids shooting at these other kids. They're different sets or whatever. You know, that's just scary. But like then that was my incentive not to have to ride on the 15. I went ahead and got a car. You know what I'm saying? Like I saved my money.
What was your first car?
I got a 1971 Plymouth Valiant. I saved up $600. You know, I'm a part of a car club, but back when we were kids, like
I had a Gran Torino.
there you go. That's a beautiful car. Yeah. That's a beautiful car.
I
What
want to
year?
say like shit, like a 76 or something.
There you go, man. Yeah. Gran Torinos are badass, man.
I want to say like Starsky. Not probably not Starsky and Hutch, but some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But when we were kids, you know, like $600, and you know, we all drove old cars, not because it was the cool thing to do. It was just cheap, you know, and like, and all the kids in the Heldorados, we all grew up. We were, you know,
Were y'all from one area or from all over?
no, we're from everywhere. Like, excuse me, like we're in Denver. We're also in LA. We're in San Diego, and we got, you know,
Where did it start?
here in Denver. Yeah. So Alfred holds it down in LA. Josh Barnes holds it down in San Diego. And I mean, it's you know, and it's all like, seriously, collectively, it's like basically old punk rockers and old cholos. Everybody's been
And like lowriders.
Yeah, all
Impalas.
like
Is it all
lowriders.
Impalas or just lowriders
No,
in general?
just lowriders in general, man. Like, you know, 30s cars, 40s cars, 50s cars, 60s cars. Even Brandon, he's got a 70s. I forget what I'm kind of brain dead right now, but he's got a really cool car. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, when you got your first car, where were you guys going and what were you guys doing? Like,
Well,
what
I
you
was
guys-
trying to stay off the 15, so it didn't really matter. But when I had that 71 Plymouth Valiant, I mean, you know, back then, you know,
I'm saying, were you guys like going to the park? Were you guys cruising? Like, where were you
no,
guys
it wasn't
doing?
even that. We weren't even trying to do that. We just
Oh, you
all
just-
of us had old cars because it was just cheap to have them. You know what I'm saying? And then we all realized that it started getting cooler, and everybody started. You know, I mean, the guys that were the coolest were the guys that had those old cars. You know what I'm saying? You know, they didn't have the money to buy something brand new in the 80s and the 90s and shit like that. So
Right.
yeah.
Hey, so if you have a car like that, what's the first thing that you get? The first priority?
You lower that shit, man. Yeah, yeah. Lower it. You know, I don't know. Like a lot of times, like I drive old Chevys, man. But like you know, I'll always get it lowered, get it looking cool, put some good white walls on it. You know.
Rims a must. The shoes.
Yep, yep. You gotta get some nice rims. I like. Like Cinco, he likes Kragers and stuff like that. But he's you know, but it just kind of depends. You know, I like true spokes. You know what I'm saying? So 80s and 90s true spokes are really cool. Knockoffs
You ever
are.
fuck with like the Daytons?
Well, I mean, I've had them,
Back in
and
the
you've
day?
seen some of my old cars with
Yeah.
those. But the thing is like you know, unless you're ready to just knock them in every Sunday and do all that kind of shit. I graduated true spokes because they have that classic look to them. But you know they're in there. You know you don't have to hit them every Sunday with the lead hammer. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah.
What's your like kind of go-to ride?
Well,
Do you have a dream ride? Is that something you're still working on, or do you have
you
it
know,
already?
I've had a lot of different cars, but I still have my '64 Bel Air, man. And the '64 Bel Air got wrecked into a couple years ago. Some drunk driver came down the street when I was living over off of Colfax and Federal. Ran into the '64 and ran into my friend Josh '66 and wrecked into a whole bunch of cars and
Took all kinds of shit out.
took out all kinds.
Did y'all find out who it was?
Oh
or?
yeah, so the street justice, man. So all the gangsters on the other side of the street, they saw this shit happen and they come out there, threw a brick through his window and you know, pulled him out. I probably shouldn't, won't say anything, but they pulled the guy out and said, "Why you fucking with Scotty's round flaws?" And you know, fucking pulled the guy out and he was. You know, and then of course
Was he all
the
drunk
cops,
or was he fucked up?
He's messed up on something. You know, I think he was on
That fentanyl.
No, I think he was like on like Molly or some shit, you know. But I was in California at the time, so I was watching all this shit on my Ring, and all the vatos from across the street were ringing my doorbell, like, "Yo, where's Scotty?" And I had to come home, but it was funny because like when I got home, so all these little kids came out and they swept up all the mess and they took it away and when I came home, like all the old paisa ladies, they bring out all these food trays and stuff.
Oh,
like
shit.
I lost a kid or some shit, man. It was pretty neat, man. I love that neighborhood. Those people were really good to me, man. Like everybody in that neighborhood was great. All my neighbors were great over there. But it just sucked because I just pulled all those cars from the back and they all got hit. So. They were, you know, I've been working on getting the '64 back together and getting it going. So it's been sitting at the tattoo shop for a minute, but it's getting there slowly, for sure.
All right, that's dope, man. Mm-hmm. And do you believe like in building a lowrider, or would you ever think of like just straight out purchasing a lowrider that's already done?
I
or
don't,
what's your
you know,
kind
I
of
mean,
steez?
yeah.
Depends how money is.
Well,
right?
yeah, how money is. I mean, of course, you know, it's nice to have something that you can just get into and drive. But I mean, you didn't put your blood, sweat, and tears in that shit. Some other guy did that shit.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it's nice to do that, but it's also nice to work on stuff with your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I love nothing more like you know, me and Trev Dog and Cinco and we'll go down to Speedway salvage yard and we'll spend the whole morning out there just pulling, you know, parts off of old cars just to fit in a car that we're working on, and we get a chance to sit out there together and bullshit and, you know, and bust balls and, you know, and have a couple beers or whatnot. I mean, Cinco don't drink, but, you know, we'll go out there and have some times, you know what I'm saying? We get out there and just do some nice shit and then come home and I'm smelling like, you know, like I'm smelling like oil and stuff, and my old lady Lauren will be like, "Oh my God, I love the way you smell. Come on over here and give me a big old smooch." You know what I'm saying? So it's good, you know.
Hell yeah, sounds like life is good, man.
It is, man. I can't really complain these days. You know, I mean, like, I mean, of course, you know, anything could be better. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm smiling. I'm always happy. You know, there's not much in the world that really need anymore. I mean, I got everything that, you know, I mean, aside from, you know, essentials like food and, you know, stuff like that. I mean, everything, you know, we got a nice place we're living. Everything's good, you know, so it's nice to, you know, come home and have everything taken care of, you know, and we're all happy.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Hey, who are some of the cats that you've kind of like looked up to, or some kind of people, you know what I mean, that kind of showed you along the road, kind of helped you out?
Tattoos and stuff?
Yeah, and even in life,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Just
I got a lot of friends, you know. I mean, like I don't want to mention a lot of the guys, like a lot of my friends, you know, in prison and stuff like that. Like a lot of those guys were, like, well, you know what? My friend Terry Cockman, he was a really good dude, man. He was one of those kind of guys. He's like old biker type guy, you know. He wasn't really associating with anybody or any of that kind of shit, but he was one of them kind of dudes who'd be like, yo, Scooter, let's go out on the yard. We're going to lift some weights today, you know, get you healthy, you know. Kept me going, you know, and I mean, not for nothing. I wasn't sad in there, but I mean, it just kind of the energy sometimes wasn't always there. So he was one of them kind of dudes, but he was an old fucking, you know, he was one of them old Clint Eastwood type motherfuckers. You know?
That's crazy.
My dad, of course, my mom, of course, you know, rest in peace, you know. But, you know, and then, of course, a lot of the guys in my club, you know, my friend Cinco, I mean, you know, shit that I didn't know about with cars and shit, I can ask him and he'll tell me anything.
Are like the cats from your club? Are they like childhood friends? Are they people you met along the way?
Along the way, most of them for sure. You know, I mean, like, but I mean, me and Cinco, we've been, and me and Cinco and Janelle, we've been friends for 30 years. So I mean, we're going on 30 years. You know, well, since '96, whenever I got out of the joint. You know, so. Good stuff, you know. And then I got a lot of old punk rock friends. I mean, if I sat around here and named off a bunch of folks, we'd be sitting here for days.
Like you said, bro, we're old, we know big motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. I'm pushing 50 years old, so I got a lot of old friends. You know, of course, like tattooing. You know.
Yeah, that's even
oh,
amped
Jesus,
up.
Yeah.
Fucking...
My friend Matt Rousseau. Yeah, him, Eddie Deutsch, Running Bear. You know. Freddie Corbin, you know, people like that, you know. I got so many tattoo guys that I really looked up to. A lot of guys that I really didn't get the chance to know that aren't around, you know.
I was gonna say, who are a couple cats that you feel like really never got the shine they deserved as far as tattooing coming up through the whole, you know what I mean, the last 30 years almost?
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, it's really hard to say because, I mean, I knew a lot of really, you know, I met a lot of really good tattooers, and like some of those guys, they didn't want to shine. You know what I'm saying? They just wanted to go and do their job and come home.
As like a 9 to 5, just
no. I mean, they did really good shit. I mean, I know lots of tattooers that really didn't get, you know, that didn't get really well known. You know, but I mean. But, you know, if I mention those kind of people, I don't know, they might think that, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. No, I mean, it's not nothing like that. But, I mean, like, I still got a lot of friends that I'm just like, wow, you know, I'm rooting for you. But, you know, you haven't found that niche, you know what I'm saying? So.
Is it hard to find that niche?
I mean, I guess, you know, I guess everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? So
I think one of the things that helps you is, like you said, you're a people person. Throughout shit that we talked about, different, you know, even in prison and everything else, you've always... You know, ran with kind of everyone. You're just
try to make good times out of bad anything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, like with me, I mean, I'm always growing and learning. I mean, shit. I had a good opportunity to be able to work with some of the, you know. I mean, Lorenzo Bodka, for instance. I mean, I get to work with some of the best black and gray guys. I get to work with some of the best color guys. People that were just doing shit before they're, you know. I'm amazed every time I see somebody do something. I'm just like, wow. You know, I kind of sit there and watch them a little bit and see how they're doing things and how things are done, you know, and you know, and then a lot of like, you know, and watching, you know, like Walter McDonald, you know, like watching him make tattoos and shit. He's like this little crazy wizard dude that just kind of comes out of the, you know, and he Lifetime Tattoos, you know.
What's the Japanese style called? Were they with the knife and like, I don't know, is it a hammer or fucking, you know what I mean?
That's Tabori.
Tabori? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what do they actually use, like a fucking knife?
No, they usually, you know, I'm not versed on any of this stuff, so yeah, but like it's so my friend Takashi, he does all that stuff, and they use like a long rod, and they put their needles on with thread every morning and stuff. But like I said,
have you ever got tattooed like that? Or
no.
Would you? Or no?
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I just never had any real good opportunity to do it, and like, you know, the older I get, I just don't feel like getting tattoos, man. I'm covered. Like I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, man, but like I'm solid. You know, my legs are completely solid now. So.
When's the last time you got tattooed?
A couple months ago, man. I get tattooed still often, you know.
What was it? If you don't mind me asking.
I got some stuff on my leg.
Just filling some shit in?
Just filling in stuff, yeah. And I got some, I don't know. I get tattooed a little bit, you know, but, you know, the more older I get, the more I can't remember a lot of the stuff I do these days. You know.
Oh,
Yep.
boo-doo-doo. Man, dry as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got that cotton mouth.
Yeah, bro. I'm high as a motherfucker.
That's cool. It's supposed to be.
Hell yeah. I was gonna say, what kind of advice do you have for the youngsters starting out, man, or anyone trying to get into tattooing? Do you, or like, is it don't do it? Is that the advice?
I mean, there's
Unless
better
really-
there's other opportunities out there that like I came in during a time where like there wasn't a lot of tattooing going on. So like a lot, sometimes people want they seek out guys like me. They want to get tattooed with old tattoo machines. They want to hear old stories. They want to sit in an old tattoo chair, smell the green soap, and do all that kind of shit. So in that way, I'm lucky, you know. So I still got a lot of good clients. I got a lot of folks that want to come get tattoos from me. But a lot of the young people, I mean, it's just a generational gap, you know. With these young people, a lot of them get to that point where they're just like, you know, they walk into a place and they get easily distracted, or they get that mentality where like, hey, why am I not the owner of everything right now? Or you know how some younger mentalities are.
Not really want to put in any work.
They don't want to put in any work, but they want to get all the rewards and stuff like that. So I mean, if you're really into doing that, then that would be my advice to you is just, you know, kick back and listen and figure, you know, and learn from somebody who hasn't been tattooing. Not some kid that's been tattooing for 2 years that just opened up a little private studio down the block. There's some guy that's been actually doing it for, you know, 20, 30 years and has the patience to put up with the nonsense. Me, I don't give a shit anymore. I mean, not for nothing, but like I get a lot of friends that their kids want to get into it and they'll ask me. And I'm like, well, you'd be better off being an architect. You know, you'd be better off being a lawyer, or be better off, you know, doing construction or doing something that, you know, I mean, or he plays really great baseball. Maybe he'd be a good baseball player. You know, I mean, it's right now there's so much hype about it because it's, you know, I mean, it's on every television, you know, and all these young kids, they think that that's something that they could just fall back onto. And it really bums me out when people come in. They're like, "Oh, I got some stuff on the internet. And I'm starting to do it as a hobby out of my house." And I'm like, "Wow, so my job is your hobby?" That kind of bums me out a little bit. Yeah.
So it's kind of, you know, you got to do it for the right reason almost.
For sure. I mean, the money's there if you got good guys that really want to teach you, and they got the patience for you for sure. But I mean, but you have to be in that shop. You can't can't just be like, okay, I'm at the best shop in Denver, and then all of a sudden I can't deal with this. I'm going over to tattoo with these no-name kids. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work like that. So
I know. I'm trying to think, like, who are, like, some people that kind of, like are known for tattoos. That kind of, like, and I'm thinking, like, Tupac and, like, Allen Iverson. You know what I mean? It was, like, cats like that. Who else was there like that? Or were they
in
the
the
only
90s?
Ones in the 90s that really kind of made fools, like...
Yeah, I think you're right. You know, Tupac was one of those guys. You know,
Tupac was like the first to put the tattoos out there. He had fucking, especially the thug life, you know.
For sure.
Then a little bit later, like Iverson came out. He was another one on the basketball. You're like, damn, like that fool got the bulldog. He got some crazy shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, a lot of athletes for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, even. I mean, you still see, like, you know, you'll see certain bands and stuff like that, like bands that I don't even listen to, like young people bands. They're all tattooed up and stuff like that. But when we were kids, none of the heavy metal bands had tattoos. You know, I mean, a couple guys did. I mean, you know, like Ozzy Osbourne had some tattoos.
I'm thinking them, like Iron Maiden.
You know,
like
Tommy
Priest,
from
Motley Crue.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like it is now, where everybody's got tattoos. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Yeah. You know, like
I've seen
it's gotten to the point where, like, I you know, there's been days where I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and get everything lasered off and be different than everybody else and say ha ha.
Should do the opposite. I hear that shit hurts like a motherfucker.
Oh, it does, man. I'm never gonna do that. Of course not. But I mean, it's just funny because, like, I see some fucking kooks running around town, and they're just like, you know, they're all tattooed up, and I'm like, man, you ain't a tattoo guy. You behind all them fucking tattoos, you ain't nothing but a lame. You know what I'm saying? And they don't get it. They didn't go in the fucking streets, and we're out there, you know, hustling every day and doing shit. They're like fucking, they're real estate agents with sleeves. You know what I'm saying? And a man bun. You know what I'm? Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I seen like the little documentary, and they kind of broke it down, like, you know what I mean, the timeline, and like you said.
Yeah, I mean it's way different. You know, like back when we were kids, you had to fight through. You go into a tattoo shop, you fought through some gangsters, you fought through some convicts, you fought through some bikers, you fight through some sailors or some military guys.
Put a little bit of
But
work.
yeah, but you get in there and you get a cool tattoo, and then you go out and you get laid and you get a fist fight, and you know, and you get drunk, and that was a part of that experience for you. Now it's like, you know, you go in there and everybody's like, oh, nobody's using old machines. You know, people are giving you some mint tea and giving you a little, you know, it's you know, I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, I'm kind of a purist in that. You know, I like the smell of old pine sol and old green soap and hearing old machines and hearing some salty shit happening. You know, nobody wants to hear anything that's offensive, but you want to go in there and you want to have a good tattoo experience, and it just seems like nowadays you don't really get that, you know.
Well, shit's like between, you know, all the bougie motherfuckers and then all the Karens too, you know.
Yeah. Hey, white people problems, man. That's what we call white people problems, you know. Like, yeah, you know, what color BMW do I want to get? You know, that kind of shit, you know. Or who do I go to get tattoos from? Oh, you're not charging me enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's stupid. You know, like I like the whole grit. You know, I like the grime, as you would say. You know what I'm saying? That fucking grime, you need it. You know, that's
Not
what made.
not the shiny shit.
No, yeah. Look at this shiny object. Fuck that. Go head first into this door. You know what I'm saying? That shit was fun.
You have any wild times tattooing? Any?
Oh, I've had all kinds, man. Are you kidding me? Shit, man. Some shit I can't really talk about.
Right. But kind of give them a couple maybe stories of just some, I don't know, craziness that happened in the tattoo shop.
Oh, let's see.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, I got some really, really fucked up stories.
I cut the heads at the tattoo shop once.
Oh, yeah. I think I was there, wasn't I?
You might have been.
Yeah, I might have seen that one.
You might have been.
Yeah, that was outside. I remember some of them guys. I love all them dudes, man.
All right, shout out.
Yeah. That's a shout out. I won't say the names.
Yeah, you know, 'cause sometimes it goes down. Shit.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I won't say the names, but there's one time buddy of mine was he was having some problems with a client of his, and he got beat up real bad, and I caught him in the act doing it, and I had to regulate it a little way, you know. And
so the client was beating your homie up, and
he
you
was
had
beating
to stop
up.
him.
Yeah, I had to stop him. Yeah. Bad situation, you know, and it could have gotten really bad, and you know, of course, you know, I don't call cops, you know, fuck a cop, you know, cops ain't doing shit besides fucking, you know, they ain't got no part of my life. But you know, and I ended up, you know, it ended up becoming kind of a big deal.
Do you remember why they started fighting?
I don't know. I think that the guy that was my buddy who was tattooing him kept fucking with the guy. Or something, maybe they were drinking. Okay. I don't know, but yeah, it was pretty wild, and there was a whole room full of people in there, and it got like that kind of shit, and I was like, so I had to stop him real quick, and you know, it was a bad scene. But I mean, that was one real bad problem. But like, here's a. I was out on an American Tattoo back in the day, and this kid, he couldn't get in the shop to get tattooed, and he comes sneaking in with a gun one time. He was on the ground, and lo and behold, we seen him one of those little fish eyes, and we had our shit on him right when he looked up. So, but I mean, it's always been kind of raw like that, you know.
Is it always somebody trying to prove something?
So I mean, that was, you know, that's some back in the day shit. It was just some kid. I think he felt kind of disrespected because we wouldn't just tattoo him right then and there. And you know, it's just some young kid, you know, trying to get put on a set, you know, whatever. I don't know, man. I don't pretend to know all that shit. You know, that kid was just having his own problems. So, but we didn't call the cops on him. We took his shit and then he left. You know, don't ever get me wrong. I don't call cops, but the guys that I was working with, they sure as fuck, you know, got a hold of somebody. So. Yeah.
Man. Mm-hmm. What about Koufax? You have any Koufax stories? We talked about that
earlier.
I
got Koufax all day, man. Yeah. I mean, I grew up there, and that's the first fucking street me and you actually went on to. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you were born at Mercy, You were right on Colfax. That was the very first street you ever went to.
I know. Like I said, I remember as a youngster catching the 15.
Oh, yeah.
Like going to Roar Mall.
You get the heads everywhere you go, man.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean?
You keep your head down, but shit.
I think they said like our age were like the last real ones to kind of like really be like teenagers before shit started getting really heavy with like the gunplay and getting
for
smoked
sure.
and all that shit.
I mean,
Like you said, we would just catch if anything, you just get in a fight.
Yeah, exactly. No, the guns weren't a thing, man. If it had to be, if there was guns involved, I had nothing really to do with it. I mean, I grew up just getting in fist fights and stuff like that, and like I said, I wasn't like some arch criminal tough guy or maniac tough guy or nothing like that, man. But I'd always look for opportunities, and of course I look for opportunities not to be in those positions for sure. But I mean, who knows? You never. It's always been, there's always some shit. Colfax was crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen so much shit on Colfax.
I can just imagine.
I've seen people get hit by buses. I've seen shootings. I've seen stabbings. I've seen, everything.
Is there a roughest part of Colfax, do you think?
Well, I think back in the day or right now.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, I would say probably right over off of Colorado Boulevard and Colfax, that area over there. Yeah. But anymore, it's probably over near kind of towards down the Capitol. Like that seems a little grittier to me.
What about West Colfax?
West Colfax, it's more.
Actually, I'll tell you what, man. I fucking
Sheridan and Colfax.
Yeah, I think Sheridan Colfax. That 7-Eleven. I went there one time. That motherfucker
it's
was
live.
Hopping like
it's live.
I'm talking like 100 motherfuckers.
Oh,
was
out there smoking drugs off of flows.
Everything, bro.
Anything you need.
I don't know about
right
this
there.
bullshit. I ain't got no good on me. I think I ended up going to the liquor store next door.
Yeah, I drive by that shit.
And there's like two people there. Fucking the old studio used to be right there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, that shit was wild, bro.
It's still live, man. Like I'll sneak down because I live over near near Coors Field now. So like I'll sneak down that way, and I always go by Sheridan and Colfax just to see the dirt that's going on there. There's prostitutes over there, there's gangsters over there, there's guys that are bent over like extortionist style because they've been smoking too much of that the fentanyl shit, and. Like, I don't get it, but, like, I still enjoy seeing that kind of shit. I don't know if something's wrong with me or, I got to see it, you know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
I drive by that shit all the time. I just want to see what's going on. I'm like,
I was older, bro, and I fucking, excuse me, I worked, like, by the mall.
Mm-hmm. Aurora Mall?
No, not the Aurora Mall. The other one, the Park Meadow. There's a park, not Park Meadows, the fucking...
the Colorado Mills. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I lived on Detroit in Colfax.
Yeah.
And like my car broke down or some shit, and I had to catch the bus.
Oh yeah, that's a whole day event, man.
That one to the fucking subway.
16, yeah.
And fucking bro, you talk about a miss. Yeah, bro, you get to see all parts.
I think West Colfax is a little dirtier than East Colfax nowadays, man. It's kind of funny. I would never say that, 10 years ago, because I'm an East Sider for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I fucking dude, like most of my life I lived in the Five Points area before it had white people problems. It was dangerous back then.
I kind of I didn't grow up I grew up in the East Side, but the Northeast, like Swansea, Dunham.
Oh yeah. No.
But my uncle lived right there in the fucking projects, like you know what I mean, right there where the Cold Crush used to be, you know what I mean? And we used to spend the night down there, and he would sleep with the doors open, wasn't tripping on anything. I remember shit was abandoned. Like after we'd be there on a Sunday, supposed to be outside doing the kung fu shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After the movies, crazy, bro.
It's gnarly down there, man. But anymore, like the Cold Crush, like all that shit is gentrified, man. It's all super gentrified now, like.
They don't want it, then they want it, and they don't want it.
Yeah, exactly. And then and then you see people that like you see entire families that grew up down there. Like all of a sudden, overnight, they're millionaires because they sold something that they bought for a couple grand back in the '70s. Now they're millionaires because.
Wish I'd have known.
Yeah, well, I wish I would have known. I mean, I didn't have that.
We knew,
but I didn't have that kind of money when I was a kid. Even
True.
a couple $1,000s. I mean, shit, dude.
I remember my grandma, she lived in Gloville, and they had like little plots right there for like 10 grand during like when that shit was super cheap.
Now it's expensive.
No, that's 100. Yeah, a couple 100,000. Shit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, fuck, man, you can get like some of those places. They're trying to make, they're building up everything. You don't even recognize Gloveville anymore. Go down there, they ain't, like Like so my one of my closest friends down there, like he owns Denver City Tattoo Club, Nicholas Pugh. And man, that me and him will sit out there, and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? He's like, yeah, they built this over here. Like, he's got this really badass little tattoo shop with a museum and everything. And then all around it is just nothing but skyscrapers and all kinds of shit. You don't even see the skyline no more. It's just...
Shit's changed, brother.
Yeah, it's crazy. It bothers me a little bit, Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I mean,
nothing. But the thing is, it's just like,
we're a whole different generation.
Hey, we really are. And, I get in, like, anytime I take a lift or something, I get into a lift, and they'll be like, hey, where you from? I'm like, I'm from Denver. Like, no shit, you're like a unicorn or something, I'm like, well, you're a fucking lame, you know what I'm saying, where are you from, Nebraska, I shouldn't say, you're from Maine or some shit, what I'm saying, like, dude, you probably bought a house out here sight unseen, and you're the guy on the
No, I know what the fuck you're talking about. Exactly. Yeah. They got the money to buy a house.
Oh yeah, and then
they paying maybe over.
And then they get on that little app where they snitch out everybody on, and they're talking about, hey, did anybody hear gunshots? I'm like, motherfucker, you're living in the north side, dog. That shit was fucking gnarly as shit back in the day, and you still got some gangsters over there,
You know what's funny? Is I know what you're talking about 100%.
Yeah.
My neighbor sold their house, sold in like a week. And some people kind of just bought it up.
Oh, yeah. Tore it down.
And I was like, they're cool, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No problems, whatever, they're cool. But I was like, I should have a talk with them. Like, I should just really kind of let them know, like, you're cool. You're still in the hood.
Yeah.
Like, don't be going out at night, like, you know what I mean, in the summertime, or be
don't
in the
get
bag.
Don't get on the
don't
computer.
Don't be walking in the middle, midnight with your dog and shit. Like, that might not be a good idea in the summer,
Yeah, you're wearing a big-ass ring. You're going to get that shit taken,
Shit, I remember I sit at my dad's for like a couple months, bro, and I swear it was some shit. I felt like it was some shit like Friday, bro. Like, I got home late as fuck. And I just heard motherfuckers whistling and talking and shit.
Yeah.
I swear it was like Friday. Fool, there was like just rolling like slow as fuck on the block, and I heard it, bro. And I ducked down. I was like, what do I do? I got the strap. I was like, you motherfuckers roll up. Like,
yeah.
And it sounded like they was looking for someone, fool. And I just dipped in the crib real quick. You know what I mean? But like fucking.
Oh, a lot of these folks, they don't get that.
That shit like Friday for real. Like, they're in good neighborhoods at once, and they're good. But I mean, at the same time, at night, it's a whole different story. Motherfuckers is on the block.
Yeah,
motherfuckers on the corner are dangerous. Don't fuck with them.
Yeah, if you ain't hood good, man, you ain't walking around in that neighborhood, man. Yeah. I've always been kind of lucky. I always had the street smarts and the book smarts. So I can walk in all
That's
those
what
cars,
I was looking for earlier. The street smarts and the book smarts, man. That's what made you
yeah, that's the real
charismatic ass motherfucker
man.
you are, bro.
You gotta have some fun. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have that shit, then I kind of feel bad for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're missing out on some good shit in life. You know what I'm saying? Get out there, you can see some shit. You can,
do some shit.
Yeah, do some shit you normally can't do.
Don't be stuck.
Yep.
Well, shit, brother.
Yeah.
I think that was a good closing right there.
Cool, brother.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you coming on by. You know what I mean? Blessing us. You're going to have to come again. We're going to have to talk a little more, but.
I just want to say that thank you so much for having me, and I just want to tell my girl Lauren I love you.
And tell them about where you work and all that shit. How they get a hold of you, man. All the social media.
I'm at Emporium of Design Tattoos. I'm on 9th and Wadsworth, right there. 900 Wadsworth 80214, and the telephone number I don't know what it is. It's the same number as it's been since the 70s.
Google them. You'll find it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
sir.
how motherfuckers do. Well, shit, bro. Like I said, we definitely appreciate you, man.
So, Heldorado's for life.
Yep, 27 years in
Yes,
the game, still pushing.
Yeah.
You look good as fuck, bro.
So do you, brother, man.
I look
So
good
it's
as
just
fuck.
I know where you live too now, man.
I know motherfuckers half my age that got more gray.
Oh, Jesus, man. You ain't got no gray. If I grow my beard, it's all gray.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. All right, brother.
I'm getting, all right, we out of here. Peace. Your boy JoeThunder. Check us out on all
Scotty
platforms.
Ferguson.
We out of here. Peace.